and welcome to the final men-only tournament of the 2015-2016 FIVB Beach Volleyball World Tour, the Qatar Open, here in one of the jewels of the Middle East, the beautiful and modern city of Doha. It's finals day here at the fabulous Garafa Stadium. And first up, we have the opening semi-final. As the 21st seeds are about to take to the court against the defending champions. First up, let's check the weather, though. It's pretty sunny and pretty hot. Not too much in terms of wind, though, just 4 miles per hour. And the humidity is pretty low as well for Doha this time of year. But it's sweltering conditions for mere mortals, but these beach volleyball players certainly are used to this type of heat and humidity. And this should be a cracker, this opening semi-final. Maybe perhaps surprise semi-finalists from Austria, Alexander Huber and Robin Seidel. And they take on the defending champions, Marcus Bockerman and Lars Flugen. Incidentally, Lars Flugen was past fit just about to play this one. He is the man on your left there. He had a knee injury, and there was a lot of rumours going around that he may well not be able to take to the court, but it's good to see him out there. That will no doubt have given the Austrian team a bit of an extra fillet for today. They're certainly the underdogs. It's their first semi-final on the FIVB World Tour since 2013. But they've had a terrific tournament here in Doha. Despite losing their first match, they've gone on to win all others.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
But the Germans, of course, are the defending champions. And they're looking to make it 3 German wins out of 3 at this event. After Holler and Schroeder won it in 2014, and that was, of course, the inception of the Qatar Open.
First referee from Italy, Ubaldo Luciani.
As we meet the referees, Ubaldo Luciani, experienced referee to look after this one. The second referee, Agnieszka Miszkowska. Of course, in the second semi-final, which will be up at about 5 p.m. local time, Bartosz Wozniak taking on Piotr Kantor. And right now, it is the Austrian team, Robin Seidel, who comes out. And the attacker and the player who's going to try and get as many blocks as possible is Robin Seidel. 6'3" tall, 26-year-old, 4 years younger than his playing partner.
Germany, they won last year. #1.
And then for the Germans, we have Marcus Bockerman, 30-year-old, 6'6". He's the player who'll look to be the aggressor, be the attacker, try and get as many blocks as well. And then his younger partner, Lars Flugen, who's just 25 years of age. He's only 2 inches smaller at 6'4".
Please don't forget, ladies and gentlemen,
doesn't quite have the experience of Bockerman, Flugen. But these two have been playing since the start of 2015, and they started 2015 brilliantly by winning the Fozhou Open, and they ended it as they started by winning here at the Qatar Open. And they've not started 2016 too badly either. They were quarter-finalists at the Kish Open. So it's Austria versus Germany in the semi-finals of the Qatar Open, and it will be the Austrians to get us underway first in the green, shooting from from right to left, I should say, and the Germans going from left to right in black. And an excellent block to start. Good spread defense at the front of the court from Seidel. And that'll be Seidel's turn to serve again. Nice dipping serve, but underneath it is Bockerman. And the ricochet off the net, just allowing Austria to keep themselves in this point. And then again, they win another point on serve. So a good start here by the 21st seeds. was their opening match against Vitor Felipe and Alvaro Filho of Brazil, the 12th seeds, but then had an excellent win in their third pool match against the team from the United States, Troy Bourne and John Hayden. As the Germans get themselves on the board. And then they beat two qualifiers, the Austrians. The Australian side of Durant and Soderberg. And then in the quarters got past Briel and Kujoviak. But it'll be a tough test for them today as they fire away another spike. Leapt up well there, did Huber.
The nickname of Alexander Huber.
Nice high set, and the spike finds the line. It's another terrific block. Really, Seidel has rocketed out of the blocks here. Just seems to have a read right now on where Flugen is going to go, and you just wonder whether that knee injury is in the back of Flugen's mind, maybe in the forefront of his mind. And the way he started, hasn't been able to find a way past Seidel. There goes Flugen again, and this time it's good. Just took a little nick off Seidel at the net. Going cross-court with the spike, and it's 4-2.
Marcus Bockerman to serve, 1 point to switch.
Bockerman then to serve next. Just trying to dip one short. Catches the net.
5-2.
Yeah, Huber and Seidel have played together for a long time, since 2009. This, though, just their third FIVB semi-final. The last one coming in 2013 in The Hague, where they finished 4th. That was a Grand Slam event. They did pick up bronze at the Doha Open, but looking to reach their first final together as a team. 2015 was a little bit of a disappointment for them. Huber carried an oblique injury throughout the majority of it, and talking in interviews, they said that really they just couldn't really get any rhythm throughout the year. And their best effort being a quarter-final at the Xiamen Open, which is, of course, next up on the FIVB World Tour calendar. Germans able to keep this one alive. It's nice defense, though, and that's well stolen at the front of the court by Seidel, who's right in his groove. It's good awareness here of where the blocker was, where the open space was, just dipping it down away from the big blocker of Bockerman. Float to serve into the back court now. Huge spike, and the pace on that was enough. And big roar of come on from Flugen. He may well just have to get himself really pumped up for this one. It's often the case if you're carrying an injury. You can see that his knee is strapped. Bockerman to serve then. Underneath it is Huber. Huber now with the spike, cannons off the net, and really that takes the sting out of the effort. Bit of a duel at the net. And the point continues to go on. Excellent diving dig by Seidel. This is a good rally. And still we go on. Huber underneath it now. Seidel to try and finish it. Neither player, though, can get the ball away, and then it's out of the back, though. Well, Flugen was celebrating.
7-4.
But the ball goes long.
Robin Seidel to serve.
Just got too much of that, did Bockerman. Excellent rally, though. And again, it's the Austrians who come out on top of it. Who've made a positive start here, 7-4 up, as they go for the little dink short serve. Difficult position to attack from here for the Germans. And Seidel is there yet again with another block. They just can't find a way past him. To say that the initial reception wasn't the best. They had to come in from an angle and go down the middle of the court, and it was well read by Seidel. Huber now. Huber finds the open court as well. Flugen can only get a hand to it, and you do just wonder, as Germany call a timeout, how much all of the goings-on this morning in terms of having a medical assessment, whether that has just disrupted their preparations this morning. Because they don't seem to have their usual focus, or certainly the focus that they've had throughout this tournament. Germans who have also lost just the one match. They lost their final Pool G encounter with the Italians, Carambula and Rangieri, who of course in the semi-final, in the second semi-final I should say, later on, 5 p.m. local time, if you want to watch that one, as they take on Wozniak and Cantor. But it meant they had to go the long route because they were second in Pool G. But they beat the Turkish pairing of Giganoglu and Göktepe, and then got past other Italians, the Ingrosso brothers, and then defeated some more Italians again in Lupo and Nicolai, the 9th seeds. Safe to say they've improved as they've gone on. Talked earlier on in the tournament about playing around about 70%. But they need to be on their game here, trailing 9-4. Although make it 9-5 now. Nice attacking spike from Bockerman, just looping it over the blocker. It's always amazing the amount of dip that they can get on the ball from those sorts of positions. Floats the serve in. A high set. That's excellently kept alive. Now looking to finish it off is Flugen. This is a super rally, and it's brilliantly finished off by Seidel. Seemed to have eyes in the back of his head there, didn't he? Knew where the space was, and this is a wonderful angle. That's terrific teamwork too. Huber keeping it alive, and Seidel applying the wonderful angled finish.
Last builder, Markus Bockerman.
The Germans get side out. Bockerman again to serve. Huber now to attack. He can certainly vary the attack. Both players are decent spikers on the Austrian team, as they're demonstrating again, but it's Seidel who is the more effective out of the two. Tends to be that Huber is the defender, the man that runs around doing the digs. And it's Seidel who can really get some power behind his attacks. Big run up for that one.
Outside.
Too much power there though.
7-11. That's Flugen to serve.
Flugen now then to serve. High set. Just again, aware of where the space was there, Huber. Saw the power of Seidel in a previous point. This is the other way you can attack the ball. Didn't go for too much power here, just looked at the space. Low over the net, angled away from the center of the court. I said good block, and it's kept alive well by Seidel. And now the Austrians have the chance to win this point and steal it, but at the battle of the net, it's Flugen who comes out on top of it, and again, willing himself on, the German. And as we reach the, well, we're just about to reach the first technical timeout. This you could feel is a significant point. Maybe the momentum just beginning to swing towards the Germans if they can steal this one. And they have the chance to now, and they do. So the gap is just 3 points as we hit the first technical timeout. Good response by Bockerman and Flugen, although it is the Austrian side of Huber and Seidel who lead by 12 points to 9. Huber and Seidel, incidentally, this is the second time that they've played this tournament. They did get out of the group in 2015, but didn't get out of the last 32 encounter, finishing 17th, of course, overall. And there's lots to play for Bockerman and Flugen. They currently sit 16th on the Olympic rankings, so they are rather just clinging on to a place on the road to Rio. And of course, looking to defend their title here as well. So much to play for. And build on what has been a positive start, as I say, to 2016. Quarterfinalists in the Kish Island Open. Well, they were the top seeds there. They also reached the quarters of the Victoria Open as well at the start of the year. And they got to the last 32 of the Rio Grand Slam. Lovely, delicate touch. Or is it? In fact, he's just touched the net here, I think. He just can't, yeah, he did just catch it. That's all tell us. Yeah, just... ball hadn't dropped. So again, another point swinging the way of the Germans. And as I say, it is Bockerman and Flugen who maybe have the momentum right now. Looking to steal it back, though. Oh, the Austrians, that's excellent receptive skills. Germany keep it in play and again get a bit of luck. Well, with the point before, with the likes of Huber just nicking the net on his spike, now a massive net cord going the Germans' way. And understandably, it's the Austrians who call a timeout. Thought about coming back on the German side, didn't it? But luckily for Bockerman and Flugen, bobbles over to the side of the Austrians. Just a reminder of what's still to come, incidentally. Local time, 5 p.m. later on today. It'll be Wozniak and Kantor, the 6th-seeded Polish pair, taking on the 7th-seeded Italians, Rangieri and Karambula. That is the second semi-final. And then at 7:30, it'll be the bronze medal match. So the loser of this one meeting the loser of the match in the second semi-final.
The final is Italy versus Poland.
The final will get underway at 8:30, I should say, local time.
Starting again, the match in the Marcus Bockerman to serve.
Bockerman to serve then. On the roll right now, can they keep it that way? Floats one into the back, and it is just, and I do mean just, long. Missed by about an inch. Yet to see a service ace today. That wasn't too far away from Bockerman. Getting into the nitty-gritty then of this set. This opening set, of course. This time it's a touch of the net from Bockerman. So the point going to the Austrians, and they re-establish that 3-point cushion. They've led from the get-go in this opening set. It'll be Seidel to serve, and straight away goes up at the front of the court. Of course, he is the main blocker. Didn't need to block there, though, because it's into the net from Flugen. Do just wonder how much that knee is hampering his jump. Seemed to get up well enough there, though. Almost took it a fraction too late. Floated serve in. Flugen again. That's clever. Saw the space at the back of the court.
Last Flugen to serve.
Nice off-speed spike, this one. Oh, that's a beautiful side attack. Just controlling it short, no chance for either Bockerman or Flugen. And that's a 4-point lead for Austria. Huber to serve. Tactics at the front of the court, you can see there from Seidel. Just got there was Huber, and then Seidel doing brilliantly well as well, just to get the ball over the net. And the Austrians are still in the point, but not anymore.
13-16, Marcus Bockerman.
I have to say, the Austrians were all over the place, really, for the entirety of that point, and Bockerman taking advantage of the situation. Nice cross-court shot. Oh, it bounces in the corner.
17-13, Austria versus Germany.
A lot of finesse in this off-speed hit. Plenty of height too, and you need that when you're going up against Bockerman at the front of the court. He's 6'6" tall, of course. 17-13 then. Seidel with the serve, but he misses.
Outside. 14-17, Lars Luger to serve.
Almost got the block in there. Seidel
15-17.
read the play, and it cannons off the arm and goes out. Just can't write these Germans off, of course. Remember, they have won their only other meeting against the Austrians, the Xiamen Open last year. Here comes... Well, it was Bockerman with the attack, but it is Seidel with the block. And it's a massive block in the circumstances. So little room for manoeuvre. Spread defense from Seidel. He has been a star player, really, in this opening set so far. Still time, though, for the Germans to turn it around, and that's a vicious attack from Flügen.
1 point to switch.
Nice high set, and there was no chance for the Austrians there. Not a lot of margin for error, very tight to the top of the net, but knifed down into the ground and into the sand. The deep sand, of course, here in Doha. It's a little different, the conditions at this event compared to others on the World Tour. Wonder whether that could well have affected the knee injury for Flügen.
19-16.
Another clean spike winner. This time from Huber. I say clean, of course, it nicked off the net, and they're now just 2 points away from taking this opening set. Seidel to serve. It's going right into the corner. It's a good serve as well. Germans there have the chance to finish the point off, but underneath it, magnificently, is Huber. And now he has the chance to finish the point, but right at the front of the court is Bockerman with a fabulous block.
17-19.
He's very tight to the edge of the court here. Huber as he attacked that one. And Bockerman read that he was going to go up the line. Tight opening set then, 19-17. Huber for Seidel, down the middle, and it's good. And they're a point away.
Match point, Austria. Sorry, set point, sorry.
Referee just getting a little carried away with himself there. In fact, not the referee, of course, the announcer. It is set point, not match point. So it is Huber with the serve. Big high set from Flügen. And job done in terms of saving the set point from Bockerman. No Austrian even close to that one. But the next set point will be on the German serve, so real opportunity for Austria, who, of course, were the underdogs coming into this one. They've never reached a FIVB World Tour final before. They have a chance to go a set up here. And it's a service fault from Bockerman, and it is the Austrians who take the opening set. 21 points to 18. It's an excellent start from Huber and Seidel. So in the first semi-final, as you see there, Huber and Seidel winning it, and they were in front really from the beginning. And they never really looked back. It was a slow start from the Germans. As I say, you just wonder whether all those medical issues with Flügen's knee, they maybe had their mind on the medical issues rather than playing the sport, which you can understand, of course. Very close to withdrawing, but there's a lot of pressure on them here, being the defending champions and also wanting to pick up points for the Olympic Games.
World Tour, Qatar Open.
And they also would have seen this as a great chance against, with no disrespect to Huber and Seidel, but a team who are pretty inexperienced at this sort of level on the FIVB World Tour. But after that slow start, they never really recovered, as, of course, they're looking to become the third straight German team to win the Qatar Open. We haven't ever actually had a nation other than Germany to win this tournament. It's only been going for 2 years. It was Holler and Schroeder who won
1-0
in 2014, and of course Bockerman and Flugen won last year. Fired into the net, top of the net on that occasion from Huber. Seidel with the little dink, surprise dink, but they're alert to it, and Flugen now down the line. Did feel that the German side got better really as that first set went on. They just left themselves with too much to do. Great accuracy with the attacking spike. Oh, what a serve that is from Flugen. Seems like the bit between his teeth right now. And then a touch of the net from Huber. And what a start this is for Bockerman and Flugen. There you go, up 3-love. Almost caught the net with his hand, didn't he there, Huber? And it's a very early timeout called in this second set by the Austrians. Plenty to think about then. This is the first semi-final. As I say, these two have been playing together for a long time, since 2009. But only, this is just their third FIVB semi-final. Huber did actually claim a Cagliari Challenger event win with Gosh a long time ago. But other than that, really the Doha Open was their best ever tournament. Where together they got a bronze medal there in 2013. Seidel has pretty much only ever played with Huber. So they know each other's game well. Good friends off the tour. The Germans look for a fourth straight point, and often the reason teams call timeouts, it's not just to have a chat about tactics and things like that, it's just to stop momentum. Which of course is a tactic as well, and it worked there, didn't it? Service fault coming. So the Austrians are on the board in this second set. As set, Flugen, angled spike, controlled well into the open space. Back to Bockerman to serve. And his Huber is underneath it, and Huber will look to try and finish this one off. That's a lovely cut shot, but he's caught the net again. Second time already in this set. Tough to tell whether it's an issue with Huber or an issue with Seidel and his sets. Both Austrian looking at each other. What a diving dig that, though, was from Flugen. No doubt put a little bit of extra strain on the knee. Seidel. It's Flugen. Powers one, but cannons off the net, which gave Flugen half a chance, but still too hot to handle. And as they change ends, it's 5-2 to the German team. Clever little short serve. But alert to it was Flugen. That's a brilliant block, but the Germans have somehow kept it alive here, but trying to be too delicate with the finish was Bockerman. And roars of approval from the Austrian fans in the crowd. That's a magnificent block occasion from Seidel. Almost knocked his cap off. That's a vicious spike from Flugen. Didn't hold back on that one. Incidentally, 7 out of the last 8 tournaments that the Germans have played, they've finished 9th or better. The only tournament that they didn't reach the last 16 was at the Rio Grand Slam. They were knocked out in the last 32.
4-6.
Seidel to serve then, down the middle. It was a tricky serve to negotiate, the ball bobbling over, but the Austrians are favourites to finish this point off now. Brilliant diving dig though from Bockerman, who's up to try and finish the point off, but can only find the top of the net. It's a valiant effort from the German. And that was just an awesome effort. And having worked so hard on the defence, couldn't turn defence into attack. Hit hard down the middle. Here comes Bockerman. Good awareness there. See, just before he leapt up to hit that spike, just looked at where his opponents were. Maybe just saw the likes of Huber moving at the back of the court towards the left. He just dinks it over to the right. That's a powerful spike from Huber, and they get the side out.
1 point to switch.
Huber with the serve. Nice high set and a huge power spike from Flugen, but it's brilliantly got back over the net by Huber. And they've stolen the point. That's a magnificent point, you have to say, from the Austrians. Arguably the point of the day so far. Huber doing a lot in the rally. It was excellent defense from him early on. He kept his cool on the spike. So back to 7-all, and now momentum with the Austrians. Remember, they were 3-love down at the start of this set. So they go back behind now. Flugen with the angle hit.
8-7. Last Flugen to serve. Germany.
Just takes a little nick off the net. Could have been awkward for Huber. And he was underneath it, and then powers the spike down. And Flugen can't control it.
Ladies and gentlemen, follow the music
This second set right in the balance as the music volume gets turned up here in Doha. The heat is getting turned up as well on the court.
Marcus.
Clinical attack play by Bockerman. For once, Huber can't keep it alive. I have to say, they've worked really well, the Austrians, as a team. Huber on the defense, Seidel with a couple of excellent blocks and great attacks, particularly in that first set. And here comes Huber again, though. Beautifully controlled up the line. Right now, Huber's showing us every different way you can attack the ball. We've seen some cut shots, we've seen some line shots, plenty of off-speed hits as well. That's a nice off-speed hit, this time from Flugen. Just delaying the spike, lofting it over the blocker. Seidel up for Huber. Just tips it with his fingers, doesn't he? Dinking it over the blocker. And it's 10-all. Very little to separate these two in this second set. Seidel now with the serve down the line. Bockerman should finish this off, and he goes down the line as well. And as we head into the first technical timeout of this second set, it is the Germans who squeak in front, 11 points to 10.
This is the first of the final. Austria 1-3 set.
Pretty busy here, of course, it being a Friday. Friday is the weekend in the Middle East. Friday, Saturday is their weekend. Expect it to get busier as the night descends. As I say, it is an excellent experience for a lot of the players here. Many of them have talked in interviews about how they see this as a significant event in the preparations for the Rio Olympics, with Rio, of course, being an event that will be staged in the day as well as in the evening. It's obviously a different type of experience playing at night with floodlights, temperatures a little cooler. But it's a tournament that the Germans have absolutely loved playing here. They seem to feel comfortable with the deeper sand. Well, I say comfortable, of course, Flugen carrying that knee injury. But of course, when you win an event, you just have a good feeling when you come back to it, and they've played some terrific beach volleyball in 2016. But they're up against it here against the Austrians, who have taken the opening set, remember. And we're level in this second set now. And they are varying their attacks nicely as well. Both Seidel and Huber attacking the ball on different occasions. That one finds the line. Excellent angle from Flugen. Got a good leap here with the 6'4" German. And that allowed him just to knife it down into the court. Very nearly overcooked it, but it did hit the line. There's very little margin for error, as we are really in the crux of this second set. Bullet down the middle this time from Huber. Now, I can barely remember missing a spike in this second set. Maybe within the first 3 points, where, of course, Germany won them all on serve. I haven't seen a team, though, not side out for a while. I haven't seen a point go on serve for a fair number of points now. Continuing that trait with the spike from Bockerman. Huber. Well, he got the height right. That just pushes it wide, and that's the first point on serve we've seen for a good while. And so the Germans have a 2-point cushion again. Talked about it being a game of margins at this level. It wasn't far wide. That's a good serve again from Bockerman. Huber now looking to attack this one, just tipping it to the side. Lovely cut shot. Little dink angle. Nearly got there, didn't he, Flugen? Possibly got fingertips to it, but couldn't keep it alive. And the Austrians stopped the run of points against them. Can they finally get a point on serve, though? That's the question. Flugen, they'll have a chance here. That's great reactive powers of Seidel. So quick to adapt to the ball, having got the block. And just as the Germans were getting themselves set, he had the forethought to just prod it into the open space across the court. 14-all then. Soft serve that the Germans can deal with easily. And they go down the line. Nice control on the spike from Flugen.
15-14. Through the serve.
Using the palm of the hand there to get the off-speed hit. This is top-level beach volleyball at its finest. Both teams have been pretty clinical in this second set. And right on the money, right on cue. Huber again able to find the angle. You can see just at the front of the court there, the likes of Bockerman just turning around, hoping and praying that the ball was going to drift wide, but comfortably inside the line. And it's 15-all. Bockerman again with the high set. Huber down the line, but underneath. Sorry, it was Flugen down the line. Huber underneath it, and then Huber to try and finish the point, but he's pushed it wide. Turns away and just vents a bit of frustration there. Knows that that was a real opportunity. Did the hard work by keeping the point going. And it's the type of attack that he's made time and time again in this second set. And that was the first opportunity that the Austrians could have been in front, and that's well left by Huber. Almost a Matrix-style dive out of the way here. It's like a bullet, and he's just trying to dodge it. Did well, very nearly nicked him. Judged it to perfection, though. The ball a foot or so long. And the Austrians have got the point. Set there a little too close to the net. Bockerman just arguing here. Well, what's happened here? There is a timeout. Just wonder, Bockerman was just shaking his head there, and just for a moment thought they were going to withdraw. But we are so close to the Austrians winning now. You can see they surely won't withdraw. You can see Bockerman just giving some words to Flugen, who is possibly struggling with that knee injury. He's hidden it well, you have to say. We've got to give him credit for coming out today. It's, of course, hard work getting through to the semi-finals of this event. Just don't know how much pain he is in right now. Showing plenty of courage, though. But I'm afraid that is it. So I thought they were withdrawing, and they are. The knee injury, obviously too much for Lars Flugen. It's a shame to end the first semi-final like that. But you have to give credit to Huber and Seidel, who played some excellent volleyball to get themselves in a winning position. But Flugen, with the knee injury, is withdrawing. So it is Huber and Seidel who go through to their first ever FIVB final on the World Tour. Brilliant result. You have to say, thoroughly well-deserved as well, and what a tournament they are having. So they are our first finalists. They have defeated Bockerman and Flugen 21-18, 17-16 before the German team of Bockerman and Flugen withdrew through a Flugen knee injury. Don't go anywhere too far, though, because up next, incidentally, on this court, we will have at 5 p.m. the second semi-final and the right to try and face off in the final against the Austrian team. Second semi-final of Wozniak and Kanter, the 6th-seeded Polish team, against the 7th-seeded Italians, Ranchieri and Karen Buehler.
Maybe for your son will be
hopefully in just a few moments' time we'll be able to get an interview as well with the Austrian duo of Huber and Seidel, who you have to say, even though they've won this one via the retirement of the Germans, they played admirably. Certainly weren't expected to reach the semi-finals, and it'll be a big shock to get through to the final, and they will know that they have nothing to lose. And with the way particularly Huber was playing in that second set, they were right on the money. It's interesting that they said about the 2015 and all the injury problems that Huber had with the oblique injury, but they look refreshed and revitalized in 2016. They've been playing together since 2009, so they know each other's game well. Of course, Seidel is still pretty young at just 26. And what an opportunity for them, as you can just see Flugen now just having to sign the documents to say that he is withdrawn through a knee injury. You have to give him credit for coming out here Of course, there's a lot of fans watching this one, both on TV, online, as well as here in Doha. He would have known and felt the pressure to put on a spectacle, of course, particularly being the defending champions. Of course, what it means is that for the first time ever here at the Qatar Open, we will not have German winners. Disappointing way, though, for Flugen and Bockerman to not be able to get hold of the to go out as defending champions with having to withdraw. Well, it looks like Jeremy is ready. He is over there with Alexander Huber at the moment. He's just about to interview him. Okay. Okay, so that is the first semi-final complete here at the Qatar Open. It is the Austrians who are through to the final, but up next, 5 p.m. local time, it is the second semi-final, Wozniak and Cantor against Ranieri and Karambula. Join us for it if you can. Goodbye.